Many 9/11 first responders still fighting for health benefits 21 years later. The World Trade Center Health Program faces $3 billion funding shortfall. How many billions and billions and billions have we sent over to Ukraine? A lot more than 3. No money in the budget for the 9/11 first responders, though. Our officials are going to get up this morning like they always do. They're going to do their little ceremonies. They're going to let you know how we need to remember all of the people who died that day and everything. And then, you know what? At the end of the day, they're going to go right back to worshiping the Queen. I'd like to take a moment to remember the New York Port Authority, the NYPD, the FDNY, the men and women who ran into that mess that morning, not caring about who did it, simply to save lives. And all those who have died over the years because of various cancers, because the government told them the air was safe to breathe at Ground Zero. And the others who have gone homeless and broke because they couldn't afford their medical bills. And those that are still left who are still struggling to pay their medical bills. Just want to take a moment to remember them before we get into the news. And there's plenty of it. Despite the Queen dying, other things did happen this week. I'd like to get into that now. As always, the first link below will take you over to the Patreon post. That's where you can find all the madness. Let's start off with 4 dead, 3 injured hours after a shooting spree. Do you notice how this whole shooting, this guy that was going around on this Facebook Live rampage shooting people, didn't really get the anti-gun coverage from the media? Because it was a black guy, let's be honest. If it was a white guy shooting people up, it would be outrage, we gotta ban these evil guns. And now they kind of buried this one after they got the guy in custody. Up in Canada, didn't hear anything on talk about banning knives. Manhunt continues for 2 suspects after 10 people stabbed to death, 15 hospitalized. I think 1 or 2 of these guys was dead, the other one maybe in custody. They didn't update the story. U.S. monkeypox, let's talk about cases surpassed 20,000, most of any country. Put a link to this from US. Here comes the monkeypox. Get ready for the vaccines. Oh, by the way, this video is back on YouTube this week because after reading all the fine print, it turns out YouTube is going to let us talk about certain things, certain other things we can't talk about. Those certain things we were trying to tell you about months ago that we turned out to be right about when YouTube, pulled all our videos. Oh, that's not. So we're just going to see. If this video does go missing from YouTube, it will still be on BitChute and Rumble. Just want to throw that in there. We'll see what we can get away with on YouTube. Them having dropped some of the stuff. Oh, well, you can't say this, but you can say that. I think I'm just going to speak freely, and we'll see where it all ends up. If this video goes missing, go to Rumble, go to BitChute. It'll be there. Brawl breaks out. Shelves stripped bare. Chinese city heads for strictest lockdown. Be advised, more lockdowns in China. I don't know about this, but apparently there's a drone flying around telling people to stay in your room. This is a total lockdown. That's the kind of shit we saw right before all this stuff started, did we not? Let's see, we got headed into COVID-19. Vaccine gets emergency approval in China. I'm sorry, inhaled. They're bringing out the inhaled COVID-19 vaccine in China. Meanwhile, back in the United States, path cleared for new COVID-19 booster this week on Long Island and Nation. Yes, I should watch what I say here. I'm not giving anyone medical advice. I'm not telling you what to do. What I'm saying is look at all of the information you can get your hands on and then decide for yourself what you want to do. Decide for yourself what you think the truth is. I'm merely sharing news stories. That's all I'm doing here. News stories like this could have been much worse. This football player's career ends. You go down here, they talk about how they pulled feet and feet of blood clots out of his legs. Put a link to this. We got here, this stage performer apparently died of a heart attack on stage. I wonder what killed him. I don't know. This football player, 21-year-old college football player in Arkansas, dies suddenly after collapsing. I'll put a link to the GLP thread so you can see what other people are saying about it. I don't know. I do have some Joe Biden news. What is he talking about here? Do you know how much? You know
how much? You know how much I'm going to do with the deficit this year? $1 trillion.
And Jill Biden laughs at her husband after he fails to stand for the Obamas. Everyone in the room gave a standing ovation to Barack Obama and his male wife. Joe Biden didn't stand. Jill Biden makes fun of him. Joe, honestly.
Joe, honestly, everybody stood with Joe.
Oh, did I forget to mention the Queen died this week? I'm not participating in that massive psychological operation that's going on, although I do wonder what it means for the New World Order. Let's see, over to financial news. How major U.S. stock indexes fared on the Friday. Let's see, the Dow Jones rose 377 for the week. The Dow was up 833. Yay, plus side for the Dow. Put a link to the data. U.S. faces biggest strike ever as 350,000 UPS workers demand better conditions, even though its package delivery drivers already earn up to $95,000 a year. Could be bad times for UPS coming up. GM betting on its electric Equinox starting at $30,000 to a $35,000 battery, right? I don't understand this. How are we going to bring in all these electric cars when there's all these energy problems? Get ready for blackouts. London to LA as global energy crisis overwhelms grids, sends energy prices skyrocketing. I can't afford to charge my electric car. Oh man, can I just play a little clip for you? She actually says, flatten the curve.
And this is what is expensive.
Let's
because
see.
in these peak demands, the expensive gas comes into the market. So what we have to do is flatten the curve.
The bitch actually said we have to flatten the curve. Where have we heard that before? Put a link to that. 20 quid for a pint. UK pubs forced to hike prices or die. Yeah, check this out. I got a picture here. It's a little sideways. You got to kind of bend it over. A $10,000 electric bill for, this is a small coffee shop. A small coffee shop faces a $10,000 electric bill. Put a link to that. 6 in 10 British factories risk of going under as bills soar. More people will be out of work. Put a link to that for Bloomberg. Energy bills capped at $2,500 a year. This is over in the UK. That's all well and good, but who's going to make up the difference? Because, you know, the energy companies are going to charge a lot more than that. So I'm curious as to who's going to make up the difference there. Put a link to that. British news broadcaster creates game show for desperate viewers win a chance to have their energy bills paid. And I got a couple more here. The World Economic Forum official says Canada has bigger issues to discuss than conspiracy theories. All of the talk about the roll up your sleevers and all, you know, just different stuff going on. The World Economic Forum wants you to know there's bigger things than conspiracy theories going on. And in uncertain times, Americans are sticking with fast food as opposed to other restaurants. A lot of other restaurants are kind of dying and going out of business because people are just sticking with fast food, not dining out as much. Over to New World Order and police state news. This is where I stop and ask you to please share this video, share this report. There is so much coming up that we predicted that would happen over the years. I mean, it is just blowing up in our face, people. New World Order Police State News. Here we go. Let's start off with Donald Trump's vaccine. By the way, YouTube, this is mainstream media saying this, not
now
me.
That we can blame Donald Trump for the vaccine, we can finally tell the truth about the vaccine without being fired or attacked or thrown off the internet. We really should have thought of this earlier because it feels good, the freedom of this. So let's take a moment to talk about Donald Trump's vaccine and why it seems to be, among other things, dramatically raising death rates among young people. According to data from New Zealand, the government there, for example, children who were vaccinated between the ages of 10 and 19 were more likely, not less likely, more likely to die within a month of vaccination than those who...
Forgive me if I'm wrong, but did all of us crazy conspiracy theorists not warn you about this for the past 10, 15 years? Hundreds and hundreds of videos we made on these topics, all being called crazy, all coming to light. Over 50 Biden administration employees, 12 U.S. agencies involved in social media censorship. No shit. Put a link to that. Globalists deliberately changing vaccine narrative to clear the way for revised pandemic treaty. And the next pandemic that's going to come around, manufactured, no doubt. UNC's life expectancy, education, and income fall. Depopulation. It really sucks that us crazies were right. I surely didn't want to be. Here we go, something else we were right about. Check this out. Amazon biometric checkout. Scan your palm, your eye, read your mind, scan your chip. There's a video of that. Amazon expands palm scanning payments tech to 65 Whole Foods locations. Scan your palm to check out. Go watch the Gray State documentary trailer. Predicted years ago. Microchip implant lets you pay with your hand. These are just some other stories from 2022. Put a link to that. MasterCard launches tech that lets you pay with your face or hand in stores. Yes. We already know Starbucks is going to stop taking cash payments. How many other stores will follow? Probably every one of them. Then they don't want us to fight back against this tyranny. Mayor Adams vows door-to-door checks on gun permits. That from the New York Post. Freedom of Information request uncovers FBI effort to get Americans to forfeit their Second Amendment rights. That from Breitbart. Couple more here. Elected officials and police chiefs leaked on Oath Keepers list. Oh, you mean there's actually some elected officials and police chiefs who swore an oath to uphold their oath to the Constitution? One more at the bottom. Deeply dangerous MSNBC host says media needs to stop covering both sides of issues. As if you actually cover both sides of issues now. How about since it's the anniversary of 9/11, we cover both sides of that issue? Oh, that's crazy talk. Over to World War III news. Let's just get into it. Ukraine launches surprise counterattack. Put a link to this from The Guardian. More fighting going on there. Russia indefinitely suspends Nord Stream gas pipeline to Europe. I can't read more because they want you. I love how these mainstream, and you have to pay for mainstream news now. That's how much damage the alternative media has done to the mainstream media. They want you to pay for the news. Russia may halt energy exports if West caps prices. That from the San Francisco Chronicle. We got, let's see, the IAEA resolution calls on Russia to leave the nuclear plant over there. We'll see if that happens. Russia has not lost anything over actions in Ukraine. That from where, well, that's not true. You did lose a plane this past week. Ukrainian petitioner shoots down $74 million Russian Su-34 jet with a rifle. I'll put a link to that. Guy took down one of your jets with a rifle. That's funny. U.S. Army approves order of thousands of Microsoft combat goggles. Of course they do. And the Pentagon suspends F-35 deliveries after discovering materials from China. Well, it's all made in China. Give me a break. Put a link to that. Let's see. Beijing's plan to control the world's data is to out-Google Google. Good luck with that. Put a link to it. Let's see here. We got Switzerland considering jailing anyone who heats their rooms above 19 Celsius. Why? For up to 3 years if the country is forced into ration due to the Ukraine war. You're going to go to jail if you raise your room of, what is that, like 65 degrees or so Fahrenheit? If you heat your room above 65, you get 3 years in jail because of the Ukraine war. North Korea passes new law authorizing its military to automatically launch nuclear strikes if country's leadership is threatened. Wow, that's from the Insider. And I got one at the bottom. Check this out. Offensive to Islam. Persian Gulf states warn Netflix to drop gay and lesbian content because it offends Islam. Here's an idea. If something offends you on Netflix, there's a lot of things on Netflix that offend me. You know, I do this really stupid thing. It's called not watching it. Anyway, over to Earth changes in 2012 news now. We've had some big quakes. We had big quakes yesterday, 7.6. I think this is in the Papua New Guinea area. I checked the tsunami monitor. There wasn't much going on. There were a couple of buoys going off. We had a 6.1 on the 10th, a 6.2 on the 10th, a 6.1 on the 5th, 6.6 on the 5th, 6.2 on the 4th, 6.9 on the 4th. Man, the Earth is rocking and rolling. I'll put a link to the earthquake data. This is set up for 6 points and above for the past week. If you want to play around with this, mess around, there's a lot of 5s going on around the world. Didn't see too much on volcanoes this week. Big news this week, the heat. Death Valley hits 127 degrees, setting record for hottest September day on the planet. It's hot in the desert. Massive power outages across the San Francisco Bay Area as California's grid operator declares emergency amid soaring temps. You better not plug in your car. Oh no, in fact, this guy, don't plug it in. California man's Tesla implores him not to charge vehicle. There's a message on the dashboard says, you really shouldn't charge your car today because it's doom on. There's no power. You're going to kill everybody. Toxic dust storm hits Burning Man, causing total whiteout. That's pretty crazy. If you scroll down here, they got some pictures of that big dust storm in the desert. Biden appoints ex-Clinton aide John Podesta as new climate advisor. Of course, you know, bring all the rats back into the swamp. Put a link to that from Fox News. San Francisco will have to spend $14 billion filtering nutrients from human poop to stop growth of huge algae bloom behind killing thousands of fish in the bay. Human poop is killing the fish. Put a link to that. Over in Jackson, Mississippi, we got an update on the water shortage there. Jackson water shakedown. Water pressure restored immediately after Army Corps of Engineer arrives. Oh, inside job? That's what they're saying. Put a link to that. Over on the other side of the world, I think this is in Poland, medieval vampire unearthed with sickle across her throat to stop her from rising to the dead. Rising from the dead, I should say. Wow, that's pretty unique. Let's see. Back in America, shark on a boat. Actually, where did this happen? I'm not sure. Video shows moment. Check it out. I'm going to scroll down and play the video for it. I don't know. You can read into it and figure out where it happened, but check this out. Whose side do you think I'm on, by the way? Yeah, baby. Come here, I'm going to eat you. It's actually a really pretty animal if you blow it up and take a look. It's a really beautiful colored fish. Put a link to that. Sun News, we got major far side CME radiation storm. Check that out. Those of you familiar with the stereo imaging, look at that. The whole sun exploded. Thankfully, it was away from the Earth. Had that been coming at the Earth, it would have been like major planet meltdown. And I got one more. They are definitely getting prepared. Are you? This is an article from Zero Hedge talking about how the elite are just preparing their bunkers around the world. It's madness everywhere. Hope you guys can bear with me for a little bit because I'm going to play several videos for you in the strange and bizarre news. Let's see. 1969 is when the founder of Wendy's envisioned a family-friendly burger restaurant. This goes on for like a few minutes here. Massive brawl. Everybody was kung fu fighting in the Wendy's. I'll put a link to the video. I got a bunch more videos to play here. This woman up in Chicago robbed at gunpoint in broad daylight. She's just walking down the street. Like 4 or 5 guys jump out of a car, just rob her right on the street. That's Chicago. See? Arm yourselves, people, for your own protection. This is how you stop a fight in Chicago without using guns. Let's check this out. Yeah, Ferguson style. Remember that time that car drove through the people on over on Ferguson over there? Put a link to that. Human bowling ball. Let's see. Welcome to New York City. Here we go. Here's apparently a bipolar mess going on in New York City this week. I'm gonna let this one play just because. Don't mess with crazy people when they're behind the wheel, man. Bumper cars in New York City. Did you see this? Man sucker punches another in Chicago liquor store. Victim shoots him dead. Okay, this guy just sucker punched this guy, right? He's on the ground right now. Is he getting up? Was it this guy? I think it was this guy. He walks out the door a minute and then he grabs. Here you go. Here you go. Boom, boom, boom. You tell me, good shoot or not? I don't know that his life was in danger, but I don't know that I'm fully against what he did either. I don't know. FedEx, hope you're not expecting packages, deliveries from these FedEx drivers who apparently had some sort of disagreement in the parking lot. FedEx drivers just beating each other. Yeah, a couple of them got uniforms on.
3 on 1.
I'll put a link to that. Bed Bath & Beyond exec ID'd as Tribeca building jumper. Apparently an executive who worked at Bed Bath & Beyond jumped off a high-rise building in New York this week. I wonder what he knew or what he was embezzling. I don't know. Out in Los Angeles, there's a different kind of madness. Check it out. Fire truck trying to get to the scene, help somebody out. Maybe somebody just jumped off a building out there. I don't know, but they can't get there because people are jumping on the fire truck. Check it out. Fast forward this a minute. People are all jumping. This is just craziness. Crazy madness in LA. Texas woman, 35, tried to snatch girl who was 4 years old. Tried to kidnap little girl, right? From youngster's mom at Walmart and told her, just because she's yours doesn't mean I can't take her. Really? I think my Glock would disagree with you. Let's see. Woke LA judge, look at this, with links to DA, look, declares mistrial for robbery suspect because the defendant didn't get a proper night's sleep in jail. Therefore, he can't be guilty. I'll put a link to that. We got a couple more here. Woman, 19, gives birth to twins by 2 fathers having sex with them on the same day. I'm not even going to comment. And here, please tell me how this is not providing pornographic material to children. Here's another one of those pride parades, right? Little kids around. Watch what happens. Watch. Just look at this sick shit, the society we're living in. A big penis jumps out and sprays pee all over everybody. I wish I didn't have to report that to you. I'll put a link to it. For all the news, please check my favorite videos. I got some stuff over there. Eric Trump says his father literally took the vaccine that he created. You tell me. Mind-blowing. Our youth know nothing. There's this guy walking around New York asking different young people about, just world knowledge. They don't know anything. Prince Charles wants a military-style campaign to fight global warming, I guess. Is that who's king now? I don't know. I'm not paying attention to all that crap. Let's see. Massive police response. IRS building in Memphis. That might have been from last week. Anyway, check out my favorites. I'm constantly favoriting stuff. There's all kinds of updated news over there. Thank you to everybody posting content, keeping everybody informed. You guys are doing an awesome work. Admittingly, I don't watch as much YouTube as I used to, but when I do see a video that I think other people need to see, I will put it in my favorites. I do have some shout-outs this week. Shout-out to U.S. sets another gun sales record. 1 million guns sold for the 37th straight month. Shout-out to American guns. Shout out to a Kansas teacher suspended for not using students' he, him pronouns. Gets $95,000 settlement from the Kansas. Shout out to that teacher. Right on. Go on vacation. And shout out to the gas-powered Tesla. I saw this picture earlier this week. I just cracked up laughing for like 20 minutes. Just stare at it for a little while. Just think about it. Shout out to the gas-powered Tesla. That's all I got for this week, guys. If you'd like to report, please give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down if you think it sucked. Although on YouTube, There is no thumbs down anymore because of the White House YouTube channel, right? Anyway, please rate the video. Helps me move around. You can also follow me on all my links below. Gab, BitChute, Rumble. All my links are always at the bottom. Make sure you're following me everywhere. And because you never know if these videos go missing on YouTube, they will always be on Rumble. They will always be on BitChute. Make sure you're following me there. You could support me on Patreon or directly with PayPal. I put a lot into, not PayPal, what am I saying? I got banned from PayPal. DonorBox is where you want to support me there. I put a lot into these reports. I put a lot into this one. I'm sitting here. It's about 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm going to get all this edited and get it up. Tell me your thoughts. I just don't, my brain is going in a million different directions right now with everything I just covered. We got monkeypox. We got the anniversary of 9/11. Like I said, please take a moment to remember the first responders. They're still, I'll go into a long thing if I even, just keep them in your thoughts today. You know, remember all the other people who died on 9/11, and the fact that we still don't have any 9/11 truth in the mainstream. That's just disgraceful. What we're doing, and you know what? Those of us who know the truth and who have discovered the truth, we do what we do. That's all we can do. In their memory, we do what we do. Keep truth in your heart. That's all I got, guys. You guys tell me what you think is coming next. You guys take care, stay safe, have a good week, have a good rest of the weekend. I love you very much. Be ready for anything at any time. I will see you on the next one.